Had to take the tree down, bro. We had to take the tree down. We good. You can hear me? We're good. Mic working. I'm my workstation's a little under construction right now. Just got another monitor in. And then maybe in the middle of the stream I might have to like get up and go check on something, but hopefully you guys are doing well today. Is that a good camera angle? Maybe a little greeny McScreeny. I don't know. Happy Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. NFL Week 17. The what was on Sunday Night Football last night, because that was something. Can I increase the volume? Maybe. I think I could just talk into it a little louder. Bring out the stick. What up, Jamil? What up, Alan? What up, Josh? Dan? Tyler? Vickery? What's up, buddy? Justin Sports and the Double B's. Man, good afternoon to you guys. Should be a fun night of basketball. Big slate. Lots of studs. Maybe some value opening up. I think today we're going to be joined. Today's a Raj day. So let's bring Raj in here. Draggy McDraggerson. Also, I have a new side monitor now. Instead of this giant TV that I had the other day, I have this vertical monitor. So I'm still getting adjusted to it. So bear with me. With me.
Yo.
Hello. You can hear me?
We in the building. You hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear me a minute ago? I'm on a different mic.
Yeah. You sound a little flaky.
I think I might be on the Yeti for Discord right now. Let me fix that. Input.
Okay, gotcha. But the chat can hear. We're all good.
How's that? Is that different?
Say something.
Here. Okay. How's that?
No, I hear like a flicker.
You heard a flicker?
I don't know if people on the chat can hear it.
Nah, for Discord I have a different mic, but they're not titled. They're just a USB mic. You know what? I'll just
Gotcha.
How's that?
Okay, yeah. So now you're back to normal.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there.
So many mics.
What you gonna do?
What's up, man? How's Canada?
Canada's good. There's snow on the ground. Not too crazy.
The other guys
still in lockdown.
Let me double check you guys chat. I might have you guys on a different mic input. I've been switching wires all night. Properties. Drink some Bang. Oh, you know what? I guess we'll do it.
I got a Diet Coke.
How's that, chat? Is that better? I feel like that should have fixed the issue.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It should have. Indubitably. Get Raj to volume level, bro.
Yeah, buddy. I'm trying to say, speak a little louder for the people.
They're saying you're louder than me. How is that, chat? I think that's the one, chat. I don't think I was hooked up through the Yeti a minute ago. Maybe.
How many calories in Bang? Is 0 calories?
0 calories, my friend. No sugar. 300 milligrams of caffeine, though. It's really good.
I see it is.
I love him. I put him in everything.
I do love Diet Cokes.
Oh my God, my audio is low now. Bro, we're going through it right now.
You're going through it right now. I think that they hear me clearly and smoothly.
Can't hear me, gun. Budge. Going through it. Much better? All right. I think there's a little delay because some people say I'm better. Some people say I'm not. But if we're all good and we're all past the haze, how you doing? Chat, I got to keep it a buck with you. I have 2 packages today. I just got one a minute ago. The next package I have to sign for, there's a good chance I have to leave in the middle of the stream just for like a minute and go sign and grab it. It's a PlayStation 5. So we don't want them to leave it out there. I have to go get it. So if I hit you guys with the code PlayStation, I'm gonna like need Raj to just start singing one of his singles, and I'll be right back.
Coming soon, Jalen Carter. January 15th is the plan, as long as Spotify puts the song by then.
My green screen. Yeah, the tree was looking faded. I don't know. We need a new background. We'll see what it is. Anyway, it's one of the packages a cat. No, cat's coming in 15-ish days. 15 days. But we're good, right? We're good. All right. Let's open up the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. And if you guys are current subscribers, last night I started building another tab. It's going to evolve. But we have the team metrics tab. And this will kind of show team advanced metrics such as pace, offensive rating, defensive rating, and then net rating. And for net rating, I didn't feel like it was like super fair to put like green and red. But essentially, this just means like how close the games are that they play. So I'll have more. I was thinking about a tab for like for some of the prop bettors that are in chat or in the Discord. I could break it down from points by quarter, points by half, blah, blah, blah. But for now, I feel like this would help our daily research. And again, the sample size is kind of skewed, kind of short. But like if we're wondering, like, you know, what's the rebounding rate on this team compared to the league, blah, blah, blah. Well, we come to this tab. We go to the offensive rating. We sort it from highest to lowest. And right now, Utah's got a 28.4% offensive rebound rate, which is a little ridiculous. But let's put a percentage on that just to be more aesthetically pleasing. I should probably just mess with all this later, but you know what? Maybe I will just mess with all this later. But anyway, that's what we got going over here. So if you guys are current subscribers in the RunDFS.com Discord, just kind of know that I added that tab. We also did import this year's so far DVP and player stats. So just a little something I wanted to kind of make you guys aware of. I broke that. I got to come back and fix that, but I don't want to stall the stream. So lots of games on the docket tonight. Lots of money out there on FanDuel and DraftKings. So be sure to get your tickets punched in time. I keep on giving myself not enough time over on FanDuel, and it gets me in trouble because those lobbies tend to fill up. So before I got on the air, I was like, oh, snap, let me go get, like, I think I put $50 in the $9. Let me go get into that $9 real quick. For those of you that play, maybe ball on a budget a little bit, or you don't want to go against, like, the 150 maxers and stuff like that, they actually have a couple of fun lower tier stuff like 25 entry maxes. I think there's a 20 entry max, $2.22. And then they have a couple, like, 3 entry maxes that are like at the $15 and the $65. I love FanDuel's lobby a lot. I think if you take out color scheme, I like FanDuel's lobby a little bit more than DraftKings most of the time. So anyway, but we're all set.
I mean, DraftKings has a pretty nice 20 entry max, the $4, and they have the big one. If you want to do the big one, chase the 200K.
For sure they do. Dan says 9 games tonight. Should be fun. Tyler says, I will be at the Orlando-Cleveland game, and I'm already expecting it to be a snooze fest. Waiting to hear about my Orlando guys' injury report to come in.
They're allowed fans? 10% capacity? Something like that?
It's Florida. They don't care. Probably going to fade the entire game. Vooch might be the only. No, dude. You don't go to a basketball game and fade it, bro. If that's the rule. I mean, you got to have at least one lineup that's just like a full game stack. And if it goes to triple OT, you're just like, I was there. You can't.
You're celebrating at the game with people.
Yeah, maybe not your main lineup, but in a dart, you got to have one full-on game stack, right? Is there a way to add your projections to Fantasy Labs as a custom model? Maybe. I actually do use Fantasy Labs, but I'll have to come up with some way to download my CSV and upload it. But
you can.
You can. I'm saying I don't know if I offer it through the spreadsheet. But it's on projections in NBA DFS are just they're really close across the board, right? For me, I would pay more attention. Like if you're really trying to like match what I'm doing, just pay attention to my tiers and kind of play with your exposures and game theory, because I feel like the projections aren't where the edge is right now. It's lineup construction, and it's leveraging ownerships and stuff like that. FanDuel this year has been better, higher scores, more leverage. I agree. FanDuel, I feel like the chalk value traps are so much fun to leverage. Like yesterday, Brunson was a must, but like in the same like you could eliminate guys from your pool that just don't have a ceiling. What I mean by like that is like the other day, Michael Carter Williams was kind of a lock on DraftKings because he was like 3K or whatever. On FanDuel, he was like 4,500, and he was still like really high owned. And it's like this guy does not have like a ceiling for tournaments. And then when you're attacking the FanDuel contest, you're just like you're really trying to prep yourself for high ceiling players. So if you
I think sometimes people are a little lazy and just pick the same players on both sites.
Mm-hmm. No, that 100% that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people just like take out upside by putting some of these chalk value guys. And if you know who MCW is or was, like he could stock his way to a big game here and there, but like he's not normally a guy that's gonna drop 30 or 40 unless there's some like extenuating circumstances, right? Another thing, chat right there on the screen. If you guys are watching, you're not subscribed to the channel. Well, now when you subscribe, you should be part of the stream. Like Kenneth Graham's our last subscriber. So boom, if I redo the alert, you get the Kawhi Leonard, hey, and then Kenneth Graham's out there. So if you guys are lurking, show some love. If you have your subs on, you'll be part of the stream a little bit more, part of the community. So yeah. Anyway, what up? E made it happen. Chronic's still waiting for the I got my gaming monitor. Now we're waiting on the big boy. What up, Gun? Love playing to 5, 12, 27. Single entries are beautiful, too, on FanDuel. And they just, like, regen and respawn. Anyway, let's talk about some basketball. Let's get it open. Game number 1, the aforementioned Orlando Magic hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Project starting 5 for the Cavs: Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Dante Exum, Larry Nance Jr., Andre the Giant Drummond taking on Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, maybe not. Dwayne Bacon, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic. 216.5 is our total 5.5 point spread in favor of the home team Magic. Kind of a low spread. Chronic says about to unsub and resub just to get the noti. I don't know if it works like. I don't think it works like that. But also, if you use Super Chat, it'll show that up there too, like Adine did the other day. Evan Fournier, obviously the news to watch in this game. I see him listed officially as questionable. If I look at the Roto-World update, it says back spasms. He was unable to participate in Sunday's practice, according to Steve Clifford, the coach. And he began to experience the spasms during Orlando's loss to Philadelphia on New Year's Eve. He was held out of Saturday's game against OKC. Despite not practicing on Sunday, he's listed as questionable in the team's injury report. Obviously, if he misses, then we have another MCW situation. So the fact that he didn't practice yesterday, right now, I'd probably kind of prepare and think as if he's out. But he's not officially out, so just kind of know that. If he were to be out, it looks like we would expect another start for MCW. And what we saw from this scenario in that OKC game was Fultz was another solid night, right? He's just been Markelle Fultz has just been like floating along to not kill you, just like getting you that 30. And I think one of these days that 30 is going to become a 40. 28.75 on DK, 35 minutes. A tougher matchup defensively than the Cavs. So I do think there's room for 35 to maybe even 40 plus in this Cavs matchup. So if Fournier misses, I think I would like that a little bit more. And then Terrence Ross off the bench, 5.7 to 5.9K. Even spurts where, like, if you need his scoring, he'll cross over with the starters. And you probably expect deeper minutes from him. 31 minutes in that OKC game. Shot 9 for 21. He took 21 shots off the bench. That's ridiculous. He's a guy that's almost always going to be scoring dependent when he is having a great fantasy night. But 20-plus real points, I mean, you look at what this team has to replace in Fournier, and that's probably, 15 shots a night, and Terrence Ross already a 15-shot guy.
He's averaging 20 this year.
Yeah, so I'm all about going after T. Ross. I do think Scoring dependent guys a little bit flakier, but should Fournier get officially rolled out, I think we'll sell a lot of people on the T-Ross situation. Maybe 30 is a more median range outcome, but against the Cavs so far, I'm about it. Their defensive rating is surprisingly good, but I'm not I don't know if I'm ready to buy into that. If we compare that to the entire league, the Cavs are allowing the second fewest points per 100 possessions. But that also, I don't know, maybe that correlates with how slow in pace that they're running. Speaking of pace, Orlando is listed way higher than I think they actually will be. That's the downside of these 5 or less sample sizes is paces get skewed when the Bucks play the Jazz or Spurs. You know what I'm saying? So I like Fultz, I like Ross, and then Vucevic I think still has plenty of meat on his bone at 8-3 on FanDuel, 8-8 on DraftKings. I love them against the Thunder. And at 8-3 on FanDuel, I think I'm going to get him maybe low-owned again because he was pretty low-owned the other night. I think we were stunned in the Discord. Sometimes when we're on people and we're just yeah, we have to play him. He's 8K. How do you not? And then you get into a contest and they're 8% owned. I'm what? No Fournier? Vooch? Hello? I'm kind of in the same boat here. Drummond really does not scare me against these type of centers. And really, we've seen early success against Cleveland when it comes to centers. So I'm all about some Vooch here. Give me a little taste of Fournier if he's, a little taste of Fultz if Fournier's out, and a little bit of T. Ross as well. The Cavs are a little bit fishier to figure out. Darius Garland is not 7.5K today on FanDuel like he was the other day, and I was just there's no shot. There's no shot I'm doing that. But the minutes for Garland and Sexton, it puts those two in the conversation always. And then Larry Nance is right at that 7K range where I think 40 is a range outcome, but maybe not a common range outcome because during the matchup. And then Drummond 9.5, 9.2. Drummond's been kind of getting outshined by JaVale McGee lately. 25 minutes the last couple of games here, including against Atlanta, which really wasn't foul, intensive or anything like that. Capella was going bananas on him. I think I don't trust Drummond. Is that fair? Are we?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna play any Drummond right now. It looks like McGee is getting some love, getting some minutes here. I don't really think they're gonna run out Drummond past 30 minutes. Past 30 minutes.
Definitely worth noting that Darius Garland is listed as questionable.
Oh yeah.
The official blurb is he's got a strained right shoulder. This helps explain Garland's 3 of 14 shooting struggles on Saturday, though we'll get a better sense of the severity of after Monday's shoot-around. The questionable designation at least suggests it's not very serious, which is something. If Garland does miss the game, there will be 35 minutes up for grabs in the Cavs' backcourt, the bulk of which would fall to Dante Exum. So Exum kind of reminds me of that MCW comp from earlier, right? Exum has been a guy that we've seen play 25 minutes in times for Philly and Utah, right? And there's just nights where he's just not that great for fantasy. So if he starts trending as a really high-owned guy, I might just go get Colin Sexton and stay away from that value and hope for the best. I'm not saying he doesn't hit value or anything like that, but generally and historically, he's just not a super high-ceiling guy. So I'll keep an eye on that. That would certainly dictate the pulse of some of my lineups, right? If Garland's out, are we getting 40 minutes of Colin Sexton, 25 shot attempts?
Looks like it. I mean, he's averaging 26 points a game already. Garland is essentially their second leading scorer.
I would also probably contest that with the fact that if Garland was out and Sexton was the focal guard, MCW is pretty decent on defense, so he might have to deal with.
He's a lengthy guy, definitely lengthy guy. But I mean, Sexton's usage should jump to. I still have some of them at 7,200. Some meat on the bone. They would probably need 30 real life points and a couple peripherals. Don't hate it. A guy like Dante Exum, I think becomes somewhat viable value play. You never love to play him, but at 3,900, if he gets that Garland usage, if he can get you 30, you'll take that all day, every day. But yeah, in this game, give me Vooch, just a consistent, center. Could get you 50-point upside here. Just give me some of him. Terrence Ross, there's no Fournier. I mean, right back to him. He just started the year off hot. You just when a guy's this hot, you just keep riding that wave at 6K. Is he getting closer and closer to a kind of a ceiling price? Yes, I think that 40 points is kind of a ceiling deal, but I'm still gonna have some of him just because he can still go off. Give me Ross, give me Vooch. Cleveland side, give me Sexton if Garland is out, and I'm not playing anybody else. I mean, Cleveland is really slow. Like they're not getting a ton of points. They held the Atlanta Hawks to 92 points. Obviously, small sample size.
Yeah.
But for the year, they've looked, whether it's their pace, defense, they're not getting up a ton of points.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're also allowing 9.7 steals a game right now, which is up there. Yeah, so maybe MCW on FanDuel would stock or grab some stocks. Evan Fournier is also averaging 1.4 steals per game, and T-Raw's 1.2. So maybe that buffs it up. But I think a lot of that is Darius Garland too. So if Garland was out, maybe there's a little less turnovers. What's up, Broderick Parrish? Chris Gonzalez, Subchronic, let's build. What up, Gil? Gil said, I said Rozier would have 40 plus the other night, and you said, all right, buddy, I would like an apology. Man, anytime 7+ K Terry Rozier goes off, I'm going to take fat L's that night, bro. I don't know why, man. I just can't play that dude at 7K.
Yeah, like I just can't play Terry and Devontae Graham with LaMelo just lurking every game.
Yeah, as long as Graham's like in the 5Ks, I'll still take shots. But man, Terry's burned me so bad so often when he's at 7K. But no, good on you. Actually, I mean that's one of those rerun games, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But like Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington almost Peggy sued us with a blue ball start, but he fizzled out. I think he got injured, actually. Tyler says he would more likely sit out knowing that news would be out. I'll keep updated once I get to the arena. Okay. We got a mole in the Magic game. Let's go. As soon as we don't see Fournier out there. Or just if you see Fournier walk by, just like, hey, Evan, are you playing? And then Google his name. Ross has been great. Yeah, I like Ross a lot. Ross is dang near 6K and so scoring dependent. I can't do it. That's fair. But I'd still have some at this price, right? CG says going to make a trip to Eastland.
He's their leading scorer.
Yeah.
Is him or Vooch? Really close.
Josh.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer right now.
What's up, Josh? Hyped to get back into NBA. This is my favorite show with Raj's hot takes. Wow.
You know how we do it.
What am I, chopped liver with my logic and analytics? Charlotte Hornets at the Philadelphia 76ers. Project starting 5 for the Hornets. Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Bismack Biyombo, the Big Mac Bimbo. Up against Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. You ever go to a grocery store and go down the cereal aisle and there's like, man, if you love Captain Crunch, you'll love Lieutenant Munch. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the generic brand of the cereal. Guys, if you love Terrence Ross,
Captain Crunch, I'm not a big cereal guy in general.
Okay. God dang it, Raj. I'm trying to make a parable here.
I'm wondering. He's got my head in cereal now. When's the last time I had cereal?
Okay, shut up. Let me. God dang it, cut. Can we read it? Hey, you ever go to a grocery store and you're like, if you love Raisin Bran, you'll love Cranberry Bran. Whatever. If you love Terrence Ross tonight, you might like Seth Curry. Can we talk about like Seth Curry right now has been pretty consistent. 30+ fantasy points in 4 of his last 5 games here. He's maybe like T. Ross, a little scoring dependent, but he's getting some assists in there against this Hornets team. He just played 34 minutes, double-digit shot attempts, really efficient from downtown. The Hornets are allowing 41.5 points per game to the 3-ball. Seth Curry could be that pivot to Terrence Ross tonight if T. Ross starts generating a lot of traction and ownership. That's the parable. We got through it. Gosh darn it, Rod's always trying to ruin stuff. Oh, I don't know when the last time I had cereal is. You know god dang well what I was trying to do there. Also in that game, I had a hankering for some Benjamin Simmons III. And I just thought, a lanky, fast-paced guard like Simmons against an undersized Hornets team, I thought there was going to be some merit to playing him on FanDuel, so I did. And it kind of worked out, right? I think he had a triple-double that night. Yeah, he did. 47.9. Price is pushing 9K. I think Embiid might have gotten some foul trouble. Let me double-check that one. But I like Simmons, and I like Seth Curry. Embiid, no, he didn't. All right. Embiid had 46.
When Seth Curry's shooting like that,
yeah,
he doesn't need to score as much.
Tobias Harris also smashed it too, and that was a game that we all kind of it projected to be a blowout, right? One-sided. It's a 2-2-2 and another 1-2 spread, 8-point spread in favor of the 76ers. So I think individually, in a vacuum, every Sixer, maybe sans Danny Green, makes sense to make a player pool. Maybe you cap it at no more than 2 Sixers in a lineup based on these prices. But I think they all have a strong case. The Hornets, spin the wheel, make a deal. Gordon Hayward was the absolute nuts at small forward in this matchup a couple games ago. Does Doc Rivers and the 76ers, adjust 38 minutes with 4 steals and a block to make him an absolutely insane play over on FanDuel, 20 real points to boot, and he was a fantastic play on DraftKings as well. Only went up $100, so I could definitely get down with some point chasing there. Kind of ironic because we've been waiting for that Hayward blow-up spot, and it happened in a matchup where we didn't feel like it was obvious.
No, he's had blow-up spots. He's just coming off 2 down games.
Yeah. And then Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, and LaMelo Ball. I mean...
Bro, LaMelo Ball, I just refuse to play him. I was
dude, every slate I look up and LaMelo's going bananas.
There's a reason I haven't been winning. It's LaMelo Ball.
37, 31. At least now if he just lives at 35 or less, I'm like, all right, it doesn't eliminate me. But when he dropped 44 at 4,700 the other night against Dallas, I was like, well, on to the next slate.
That's annoying.
But yeah, Terry Rozier also thrived in this spot the other night. Gil mentioned it in chat. Again, 7K Rozier is just not going to be something I really click on. He had 35 real points and 11 more fantasy points on top of that. Shot 7 for 11. If he just catches fire from behind the arc, they still, man, it was still lopsided. I don't know. I just don't think I could. I don't trust Terry like that at 7K. So I'm gonna be off.
I don't trust him to shoot 12 or 18 again.
Anyone on this Hornets team that are you grabbing that Gordon Hayward?
In this game, 2 core guys that I like just because of prices: Gordon Hayward and Tobias. I mean, it does feel like a chase, sure, but both. Look at Tobias. 2 out of the past 3 games, 50 plus, got 40 before that. He's on a good run right now, playing under Doc Rivers, who knows how to put him in his best spots. Just getting it done, getting you 20 points, rebounds, assists, block steals, getting it done everywhere. So give me Tobias Harris. I still think Gordon Hayward's the number 1 option on this team. So I know, Terry Rozier took a bunch of shots, but I think this is Gordon Hayward's team. He's going to do a little bit of everything. So at 7-3, 50-point upside, give me him. I might have no Embiid today. To the other 9K studs, or other studs out here that I'd rather play. Harden, Luka, Giannis, Trae Young, Curry. I might have 0 Embiid today. Good matchup. Even though Bismack is obviously better defensively than Zeller.
He's not. He's a rim protector. People need to. These rim protector block machines are not necessarily elite defenders.
Fair point. Yep. Other than that, again, you said LaMelo's price came up. So if he got you 35, it doesn't kill you. If he gets you 44, you're dead. So you need him. What are you gonna do with LaMelo?
I'm gonna hope that 37 is a ceiling in this matchup. And I play more so on FanDuel now. So at 6,400, you get a little less.
Are you gonna give him 30 minutes again?
Yeah, I got 30 across the board for all these guards: Melo, Rozier, Devontae.
Yeah,
and
it'll be easy if you don't play any of them.
I probably won't. Rozier, if those Rozier points don't happen, they still got smacked, but you maybe take 10 of those real points, and if it goes to a Devontae or
they got smacked.
Whatever.
Can they keep it close? If they keep it close, time, I love Gordon Hayward. You can take a few
I
more
mean, they
shots.
didn't really keep it close last time, and Doc Rivers can just adjust to whatever halfway worked for them. So
They were played 38 minutes last game.
yeah, that game was a little different than anticipated. Let's go see what you guys got in the live chat before we move on. Alan says this game's a wash. Chagres says, Gun, based on your tiers, but how much exposure you think you have to each tier, if that makes sense. So what he's talking about, chat, is every day I list my player pool, my tier 1s, 2s, and 3s. This is based on my personal lineup construction and when I'm running or multi-entering. So this is really, really correlated with the quantity of lineups that you're running. So, like, if I'm running 20 or less lineups, I got to have a core, like cores that I'm living and dying. And this is me, and I probably want my core in 15 of 20 lineups. Like, I want 60, 70% of my core guys. And these are, like, maybe 3 to 5 guys that I think just cannot let me down today. But if I was running 100 lineups or even 50 lineups, I don't need 60 to 70% of a tier 1. I can go 40%. And whatever it is, just kind of, like, be in relation or in regard or leverage to what the field is. So, like, I want 80% of a James Harden one night if I know he's 40%, I'm only running 20 lineups to see dividends. But if he's 40% and I got 150 lineups, I can get away with 55% or 50%. So it's all really in relation to how many lineups you're running, but just obviously self-explanatory. Like, I want more of the ones, enough of the 2s, and then 3s are just kind of scattered there. So I'll definitely put min and maxes on tier 1s and then a couple 2s, and then tier 3s a lot of times I'll just let the opto get them in where they fit in, but I'll cap them at like 20-25%. Anyway, what else we got, chat? Theo says you can play anyone versus the Hornets. Yes, the Hornets are definitely one of those teams that have rewarded borderline full stacks, and this dates back to last season as well. J. Cole says, I played Simmons and Tobias last time. That worked out. Seth Curry's been doing it. Hey, Steph Curry last night, right? 62? Was it 61, 62?
Right when we were all bashing him, I was bashing him. Like, I'm looking a little overrated without any All-Stars beside him. And he's like, oh, yep, let's just remind the world who I really am.
Maybe Seth fires back tonight to his big brother. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that said Draymond came back and he and Curry combined for 63 points.
I like that.
And it was like Draymond had one real
Maybe
point.
Draymond, sometimes you need a hype man.
He had one
hype man
to
make you feel good, shoot a little better.
Seth Curry, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Well, I mean, they're not in Charlotte, right? The game's in Philly, but I get what you're saying. His daddy would be calling the game for the Hornets, right? Dell. So maybe you watch Seth Curry drop 63 on the Hornets feed, and we have our narrative. What's good? Marv Ski, enjoy the show. I know they have thoughts on Sadiq Bey. He was looking pretty decent last time out without Blake and Josh Jackson. So should he get that opportunity again? I think he makes sense, but we'll dig a little deeper into that one, right? The murder Hornets really refer to this team every time you take a Hornet in your lineup. Murder to your night, bro. PJ Washington, man, he got me so hard the other night. He made it. Harris is always the lower owned of the big three. Seems, yeah. What up, Mopar? So wish I could watch. I'll give a quick thumbs up. See you later. I appreciate that, buddy. Dame ticked him off. Yeah. So whenever Damian Lillard and the Blazers beat the Warriors, Lillard like rubs it in. Like he'll come out in garbage time and start chucking from the logo. And he kind of did that the other night. So maybe Steph Curry was like, you know what? I'm tired of that. Come on back. I got something for you. Run them pockets. Let's move on to the next game. New York Knicks at the Atlanta Hawks. Project starting 5 for the Knicks. Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson taking on Trae Young, Cam Reddish Jr., DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. We got a 2-2-2 and another one, 2.5 total, 7-point spread. My grandpa used to say that. Now I incorporate it. So that's it. If you ever wonder why I say that, whenever I see a 222 spread, I'm like, that's a 2-2-2 and another one, 2. Corny joke he used to make. So, 7-point spread here. Atlanta, I don't know what to make of Atlanta right now. One game they come out just a blazing, right? Smacking the Nets. And then another game like the Wizards or the Cavs the other night, which is kind of So I think that Atlanta is kind of what we thought they would be, like really really good offensively, and then they got to figure it out on defense. The Knicks, we know what the Knicks are. They've been living up to our lack of expectations. The two guys that really stick out here: Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett. A couple Q tags throughout the lineup. Let me just pull up the official injury report so we're all on the same page. So we'll start with Dennis Smith Jr. He's left quad, and Frank Ntilikina sprained knee remain out for that's from Saturday. Alec Burks left ankle has been upgraded to questionable for this game, but he's still questionable. Obi Toppin, Mitchell, that's all I got here. So really, Julius Randle's the only guy I ever really want from the Knicks, and DK puts him at like 9+ K where he needs that 50. For some reason, FanDuel's just like, nah, Julius Randle's not more than an 8K player. He just lives at 8K. And if you're going to play 37+ minutes every game and have the usage that Julius Randle has, I'm going to keep playing him at 8,100. Excuse me. So he might borderline be a tier 1 for me on FanDuel. I know the last two games are south side of 40, but the opportunity is there. Like the opportunity, the usage, the minutes against the Hawks are just it's just there. John Collins certainly someone that can get into foul trouble. Maybe Randle exploits that. And then I think Randle's game could get the best of Capella if they cross up, right? Capella's another guy I think is more of a rim protector type person. I think Randle can.
Capella's a lock at his price.
I don't hate Capella because he broke the slate the other night, but
I just think he's a 7K guy, $7,500 player. We saw what he was doing with Houston. I just think with this team, Atlanta's page it's New York. How's New York been giving it up points in the paint to centers or power forwards?
Points in the paint, they're allowed 46.7. That's a little average. So let me go pull up the team metrics tab to just kind of put that in perspective. Points in the paint allowed. The New York Knicks are right about league average.
And the rebounding rate?
Rebounding rate. So defensive rebounding rate for... Actually, that's on the index portal. Rebounding rate's good. Offenses is borderline elite, 22.6%, and the 77% defensive rebound rate. So nothing to... like. It's just average. They're so average. But I get what you're saying. Like Capella is still cheap enough that you can get him there. I still think like the cap on the minutes, like 30, 31 seems to be like the limit here. It's encouraging that he played 31 on a back-to-back while playing the night before.
It's going to go to 35 without us knowing.
Maybe.
I want to catch him that game.
But it's still going to be a little bit more rebound intensive. He also had 5 stocks that game. So I'm with you on Capella, but I don't think it's fair to compare this Capella to like the old Capella, where like it was just hard and feeding him. But I do think double doubles are likely going to be a nightly thing, and there's room to grow in the price. I think like he should settle at like a 68. So
yeah,
if we put an extra, that's worth what 6x right there. If we put an extra 6-7 points, yeah, all right. I'm with Capella. I just definitely think a range of outcome here is like 35-ish fantasy points, and then I just think it's an okay play. You really need him to bust off a high upside game, which is possible.
It's there.
It's possible. There. But give me Randle on FanDuel is up there. Elfrid Payton, 53, 6K. It would be Elfrid Payton that the Knicks get guards back into the mix, right?
Yeah.
Rivers, Knox, quickly, Alec Burks, and then like Elfrid Payton drops to 35 and fills up the stat sheet. So
he's gonna triple-double or bust.
Yeah, right. No, you know what you're getting with Elfrid Payton. It's very volatile. I would always, I probably just. I mean,
this is the best spot of the season for him, right?
Is it?
The Hawks, running and gunning, scoring points. I mean, this is if we're gonna see the first triple-double from this season. It could be the spot.
I think triple-double Elf is perhaps a thing of the past, right?
I think it's also because Barrett and Randle are taking some some assists.
Yeah. Triple-double Elf was like the Pelicans with nobody, or the Suns, right, with nobody. Like I don't think this is the spot for him to do that. I think Randle's more likely to triple-double with some type of consistency. But even Elf with those Pelicans, with those Suns, was a pretty inconsistent player. So I'm always going to taper my expectations here. FanDuel always leaves them at like a price where you just feel like you have to have a dab at 5,300. Like, yeah, you could probably drop 40 if he really needed to. But for the most part, it's like Randall, more Randall, and then and then RJ Barrett is 6-1 on FanDuel. Also, it just kind of pokes at me. The Hawks, Trae Young, 9'8", 9'4". That sticks out to me. Bogdan Bogdanovic is under 5K on FanDuel. I can get 25, 35 as a range of outcomes. And the other night, DeAndre Hunter was pretty trendy. I think it was $1,000 less on FanDuel that night. So maybe this increase in price will kind of take away some heat on him. But 28 plus fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. Certainly somebody that you could, supplementary stack or even put as a stocking stuffer in your Opto and Captain at 15-20. So a couple of options here. Now 7-point spread. I mean, it leaves
close
room.
Game. I expect this game to be close.
You think so?
Yeah, I think. I mean, there's just both teams that probably won't make the playoffs. Aren't that good?
Hawks are making the playoffs. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think they're not. It's the Eastern.
Yeah, I mean,
stop.
sure. Bottom half. Yeah, I mean, sure.
Dude, I think the Hawks could be 5 or better in the East. I don't think there's some backdoor sneak team. Like, you're crazy. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I think Trae Young's a great pivot off of Stephen Curry. I think Curry's going to have some elevated ownership, obviously, after last night. And at 9-8, it's the Knicks. I think the Knicks are giving it up. They're bottom 5 against point guards. After seeing Curry light it up, maybe it's a little bit
No, that's not.
You got a little extra fire.
No, that's not correlated. Stop. You're talking out of your butt. Like, what are you even saying right now?
No.
After seeing Steph Curry, maybe Trae Young does that. No.
Maybe he saw him. He's like, oh, you know what? Let me show you what I can do. Boom, boom, boom.
That's dumb. That whatever you were trying to do there is dumb. Let's move on.
Better than your cereal.
No.
Better than your cereal.
No.
But yeah, back to Trae Young. I just think he's a great pivot off the elevated ownership that Stephen Curry is going to see. So give me some Trae Young. Give me some Clint Capella. And then New York side, I think RJ Barrett is probably my favorite Nick, just on DK based on price. Randall at 9K, I'm going to get it. He's done great. But at 9K, just getting closer to his ceiling. So give me some RJ Barrett. Give me some Randall. I feel like I have to play Elf. I don't want to. But at 6K, the upside is there, especially against the Hawks. Give you a 40 burger. So probably a sprinkle of him.
Chronic says play Capella or lose money. What else? What's up? The Edge DFS. How are you?
I'm with it.
Billy Brisbane. Brogdon went off for 33 real life points. You liking Trae tonight? Seems low on so far. I like the thought of Trae Young.
I'm telling you.
No, stop. Whatever the F you were trying to say to justify it is dumb. It's Trae Young. Play Trae Young. Play a little bit of Trae Young. That's it. I don't know what you're doing with that. Chill out with that emphasis on average on my Knicks. I'm not trying to hate on the Knicks. I'm just saying across the board, metrically, they just project to be uber average to below average. But I like.
Shout out RJ Barrett though, an improvement.
Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Barrett's not really. All right, stop. I ain't got time. I gotta pick my battles here. I'm not. No. Peter says I got that feeling in my bad knee, and got to put Nerlens Noel on the line to see Clint and Mitchell get in foul trouble. Okay. Noel 3,600. I think he's still a power forward on FanDuel. I don't think that's crazy. Might win you 100K. Go for it.
John Collins guards Randall.
Yeah, but Collins is such a foul machine that might not last very long. And then they have to switch to Capella, and then that could be a problem. I get what he's saying, but or vice versa. Mitchell Robinson or whatever gets in foul trouble to Collins, and then Noel's got to come to it. I see what he's saying. Both Randall and Collins went off versus each other the last 2 times. Yeah, I'm all about Randall. Dan says I'm a DK guy, but it's sounding like on FanDuel you can play this whole game. FanDuel you can. On a big slate though, like unless the game hits OT, it's not likely like a 3v3 stack's going to be the nuts. But it's a little bit more fun on the shorter slates to kind of game stack and get away with it. But you got to remember, so far a bunch of these games we're talking about are like potential blowouts, and so far this year that's been NBA basketball blowout city. Like we scroll up a little bit. Yeah. We had 5.5, or I'm not going to project Orlando, but like 8-point spread here. The Hornets could certainly get blown out, especially like Doc Rivers see what was working for the Hornets and the very next game adjust. The Hawks are 7-point spread. It's the New York Knicks. Absolutely, the Hawks have enough firepower to blow out. And then the next thing we're talking about is a 9-point spread. So, maybe I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket with the volatility of these spreads right now. But, yeah, FanDuel, you could definitely game stack a little bit easier and get away with it. A lot more value, too. And then just like I tell people, I prefer FanDuel for NBA. DraftKings is king for football, PPR, bonus. I love that. But for FanDuel, my only beef ever with FanDuel, other than there was two. One, when I first went pro, I was mainly FanDuel. That's where I won my first 100K of winnings. And then for a while they just magically said, "Nah, we're not going to be in Texas." But DraftKings was like, "Nah, we'll be in Texas." So I had to go to DraftKings. And then for basketball, when FanDuel came back, they didn't have late swap. And I just, I put too much volume to at least not have late swap. So now that FanDuel has late swap, I mean, they got everything I want. And then multi-entering over there is just a lot easier, right? A lot simpler. Hawks definitely going to be a 6-8 seed this year. I mean, they could be, but I don't think they're going to be like a barely make the playoff team like Dopey was saying. Hawks low-key deep in real-life perspective. Yeah, I think the Hawks offensively are nutty. They tighten up the defense in the right spot, and they're good. Van Jones, Gunn, and the Canadian DK 4v4. Stop. I'm making your lineup, god dang it. No, 4v4. LaMelo, Hill, Bay, Steph versus Brunson. If no, Luka's probable, so you just throw that out the window, buddy. Unless something happened. Didn't it come out that said he was probable? Luka? Quan is listed as probable. So I'm going to go with the one that's not Jalen Brunson. A 4v4. Hey, quick 6v6 for you, guy. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Miami Heat. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Thunder. SGA, George Hill, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley, Al Horford. Taking on Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy G. Buckets, Andre Iguodala. I want Andre Iguodala. And Bam Adebayo, 214.5 total and a 9-point spread. Another deep spread. SGA still at that 8K or less point range. Last I looked, I think I was a little bit stunned. I think Miami was up here. They kind of gone down a little bit. A lot of bit, actually. No, they're down there. Okay. I keep wanting to justify SGA. I keep thinking 8K is just too cheap. It's coming. But I'll probably ultimately just stay away from them in this game, right? Super deep spread. Prices are kind of catching up with people. So I'm probably just going to X out the Oklahoma City Thunder from my lineups tonight. Big enough slate if I lose because SGA finally flop lags of 55. I lose. And the Miami Heat, maybe the same thing. 8-7, 8-5. 8-7, 8-5 for Adebayo. Butler seems like 40 could still be there. But this game just seems uninspiring. I think the Heat's rotation's getting annoyingly deep right now. I got 11 guys projected for minutes and, probably 8 guys projected for 17 or more. Dragic's at 6-1. You just feel like I feel like I'm pushing the issue at everyone here. So do I just hit the X button on this game in my Opto Magic machine?
I wouldn't hate it. Sure, could a guy like SGA still at 7,800 waiting on that 50 bomb when he breaks the slate? Possible, sure. Baisley coming off a big game, shot really efficient, 5,800. But again, these are just not in. I'm comfortable clicking, like you said, the Miami side. If I get no Hero, no Butler, no Bam, I'm okay with it. I don't think this game should pop off. If you want to exit out, I'm cool with it. I'll probably exit out. Got to exit out a couple games.
Chat, what are you guys doing with this game? Are we sleeping? Am I asleep? By the way, chat, just want to put another reminder out there. I see the views went up to 200. I might get a knock at the door any second now, and I have to sign for a package. So I might have to leave for a second. But
Bam is coming off a 53, 43. He's 8-5.
There's room there. Are you tossing your center spot out the window here? Not out the window, but it's center only. Are you giving up that center spot? And I don't mean this in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, if I'm waiting,
I think if you're with Bam at center, I don't hate the play.
40. 50 against Milwaukee. So I think Butler was out that Milwaukee game. Then yeah, I don't think I'm getting a great deal. The Butler didn't play that Milwaukee game, so I don't think 10 assists is coming. I 8-5. I'm out, man. Like it is what it is.
I hear you.
He made it happen. Man, Hunter's so good for Atlanta. Easy 30-point nightly, super involved. Yeah, DeAndre Hunter's been kind of consistent for fantasy. Seth Curry, guys. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just super consistent lately, and I'm with it. No late swap was my issue, too. Yeah, that being back. Maybe it's more Corona-induced now than anything else, but, yeah, late swap helps me a ton. Like, the other night with Pascal Siakam, he ended up being 18% owned, and I probably maybe had 20%. I was able to go in there and swap out. Like, if they didn't have late swap, I'd just be super tilted. And it's a lot less stressful. But I also, like, I understand the reverse argument is, like, late swap hurts you more than you know, blah, blah, blah. But if you sit around with money out there like we do, then no, late swap is what we want as long as we're taking advantage of it. Is Iggy starting? That's the projected lineup I got. There's a chance maybe he doesn't, and maybe, like, I don't know, Leonard or something like that creeps back into a starting lineup. BS, where's Chronic? Chronic's in the chat. There he is. Smash that like. Where are we at? 200 viewers, man. If you guys want to hit that like button for me one time, I appreciate it. Remember that Harvard study. You're more likely to cash big tonight if you hit that like button. I mean, these are just scientific facts. Why did you have a porn background? I had the tree up, but I took it down because it was all faded. I gotta get a new background.
Got a side hustle, team. You got a side hustle. So what can you do?
Whatever. Josh Jacobs just got a DUI. Is that confirmed? That's tough, huh? Was it? I think Rich was in the chat yesterday sweating Josh Jacobs.
This season's over, anyways.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? John Gruden call that the spider. Why I drive better when I'm drunk banana. I can't open my Discord for some reason. We'll put it on the main screen for a second, chat. For a second. There it is. It's a cat. Let's go to the NFL channel. There would be news on Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs arrested for DUI after a win. Okay, well, live your best life, Josh Jacobs. Just subscribed. I appreciate that, Kings. Harden and Hunter or Wall and Tatum on DK Cash. Such a good one. Okay, I'm done with you guys. Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors project starting five for the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Norman Powell. That can't be right. That's Pascal Siakam. And Aaron Baines. We got a 218.5 total and a 4.5 point spread in favor of the Toronto Raptors. So this is one of those games that feels like on the surface, oh man, these are two scrappy defensive teams. But then when they actually go at it, you start getting some big games out of it for fantasy perspective or fantasy wise. So I kind of want to dig a little deeper here. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have just been taking turns going off, right? In the last couple games, Jaylen Brown's just been kind of showing up and showing out. So 8,300, I need that north side of 40 fantasy points. I need it. I need it so bad, as what buddy Blake Snell would say. But 47, 57, absolutely in the range of outcomes. You could argue that, Memphis and Detroit, porous defense, faster pace, stuff like that. But it's still a guy that's picking up some usage. Jeff Teague's already been rolled out. So there is that. And then Jason Tatum, 8.6K. I still need the north side of 50. We've seen him do that a couple times. So maybe the volatility rating goes up a little bit more. But when we make a closer game where both teams should be in it all the way, we probably get deep minutes out of Brown and Tatum. Just out of curiosity, Jason Tatum DKP by game log versus Raptors. Let's go last 10 games. I know it's going to be very skewed, but we'll see. 60 and 68 for Tatum in his last two games against the Raptors. This is September, I guess it's the playoff games. 44 and 51 minutes, so that's not going to happen. So 36 minutes, we got a couple 40 bombs in the air. Maybe run it back with Jaylen Brown as well. Again, this isn't put in context, right? We don't know if we're talking about Kemba games or anything like that. But Brown has a 16-40. Maybe their prices will push me off of these guys, and I can live without it. If Jeff Teague was out and Marcus Smart is questionable, maybe it's even more merit behind Jaylen Brown, maybe some more ball handling duties. You could probably I got 27 minutes on Peyton Pritchard at 3,700. Not a warm and fuzzy click me daddy play, but it's there for minutes. And then on the Raptor side, Fred VanVleet's always kind of like leading the forefront on guys I would play from the Raptors. I think he's the most talented scorer. I got him at 36.6 minutes. He was the guy you needed the other night. Siakam's just been kind of there as well. And Anunoby is more of like a shot-in-the-dark stocks guy. So 218.5 total. Am I running Jaylen Brown at Fred VanVleet here? Or am I staying away? What do you do?
Give me all the Jason Tatum at 8,600.
You like
especially no Marcus Smart. I mean,
so Smart's, yeah, he's questionable, right? So
yeah. I mean, sprain right thumb, to give him the night off. Give me all the Tatum.
I feel like that would help Brown a little bit more, like a little bit more ball handling for Brown if there's no Smart and Jeff Teague.
I kind of think Tatum's a better playmaker for this team.
I mean, maybe, but he's not.
You can go back and forth. I mean, they're both, same price. I'm going to lean Tatum because I just think he's a better player in general. But yeah, if you want to play Brown, that's fine too. If there's no Smart, I think Richard becomes a premier value guy at 3,700.
Premier?
As value, who are the best players under 4K today? If Smart's out, he might jump to the top.
He's already without. Yeah.
Right, no Teague.
So right now on my value chart, I got Sekou Doumbouya.
Okay, you see that?
Rashawn Holmes.
Holmes is not that.
I already have Peyton Pritchard up there. So
exactly, yeah. No Teague, no Smart.
Let me make sure there's not like a hidden guard that I'm sleeping on.
No.
Peyton Pritchard, Carson Edwards. He might see some time. I see what you're saying. Like minute wise, the opportunity would be there for Peyton Pritchard. It's already there without Jeff Teague. But this is like Brad Wanamaker, right? Like when Brad Wanamaker would get this opportunity. And he would be 40% owned. And like it could go either way. But when Brad Wanamaker got 18 on a 9-game slate, it doesn't help you a lot. I get the idea of the value though. Like I'm not pushing back against that.
Yeah.
But man, 28 minutes against Detroit. Like are we really putting him at 38 minthat here?
With no Teague and Smart, I think he might have to play.
But he's not the only guard left. There's other guards here, so I think that the heavy minutes and ball handling duties go to Brown and Tatum, and then Pritchard would just be there. It really just feels like he's Brad Wanamaker. But there is a range of outcome that much. Those minutes, the opportunity, minutes equal money. Like I'm there. I'm gonna be an investor like against my will. But I just want to at least share that I have some doubt that he's a smash premier value play like you just called him.
I hear you. The Raptors side, I think some VanVleet probably fade everyone else. Siakam's there at 7-7, not a click. He hasn't been that consistent this year. Boucher is becoming a little like LaMelo, not as consistent, but he has kind of that upside. So if you want Boucher at 5,100, low owned, don't hate that. But other than the Boston, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I'll leave more Tatum and Richard if Smart is out.
Chad, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna metrically, I gotta have Peyton Pritchard. Like, I'm just saying, like I do worry.
You could just stand in the corner and watch Jaylen Brown and Tatum work if he starts next time.
Pritchard starts without Smart though. That would seem likely. By the way, I hear like a heavy truck out there. Reminder, chat. Any second now, I'm due for signing for a package. I'm pretty sure that's it.
So yeah, other than that, this game is not too exciting, but there it is. All right, chat.
So if Teague, I'm not gone yet. If Teague and Marcus Smart are out, can 16,900 DraftKings dollars for Brown and Tatum in the same lineup work? Like, will that pay off?
You'd want 50 from both, essentially. They haven't done it yet, but this would.
Didn't they just do it last game?
No, Jaylen Brown had 36. He's got 30 real life points, just no peripherals.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's true. Okay.
So, I mean, you would think they would just kind of take turns, run the offense, doing their thing. It could happen. Probably would have a lineup with both of them in there. And the Raptors haven't really looked too great defensively. So, I mean, I don't hate it. I think more likely one goes off for sure. And I'll lean Tatum. But if Smart's out, you probably want to have a good chunk of these Boston guys.
Thanks for the information, man. I appreciate the subs. For those of you that have your subs public, it will put up an alert on the screen. So if you guys know you have pub subs, you want to be part of the stream, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the new subs, though. Gil says you can play Brown Tatum. Who else making things happen for him in a competitive game? I mean, at 4,400, TT and Tice could troll. I don't think that's crazy. But it's hard to love it, right? It's just hard to love anything at these prices specifically. Tim says Pritchard's way better than Wanamaker. I would agree with that, but like I also think like Brad Stevens has a certain game plan and you know people play a role. But I definitely would agree with the assessment that Peyton Pritchard's better than Wanamaker for sure. And just algorithm-wise, you put that many minutes on Peyton Pritchard, it's just going to spit him out in optos. So I would have to really, not really. I just want to see where he ends up projected ownership before it happens. MCW over Pritchard. See, MCW, yeah, we know what we're getting with MCW as far as ceiling and perhaps lack thereof. So I'd probably lean Pritchard.
Pritchard would be their third leading scorer here and may need to give him like 20 real life points.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Like I think that's fine. But like I said, there is a couple other guards that would maybe prevent me from putting like some egregious minute projection. But it's the same. It's like Marcus. Were you playing? Was Marcus Smart going to score 20 points today? Probably not. So replacing him.
15.
15 maybe. I'm not. So I think it's coming off way too negative. I'm not that off of Pritchard. I'm just saying the chalk value on these big slates tends to generate a lot of buzz, and it's not like Jalen Brunson. We knew Brunson is a walking bucket, and we have actual like NBA games. Not looking at preseason or summer league or nothing like that. It was just I wanted to share my doubts in the range of outcome that it could be like Brad Wanamaker. Wanamaker nights happened like how many times last year or the years in the last couple of years?
Quite a few.
Yeah. Peyton will. Yeah, I got 30 minutes easy, Alessandro, on Peyton. Like without Marcus Smart news, like just taking Jeff Teague out, I think Peyton is there for 30. I don't know. I don't think I'm conveying just my somewhat doubt for Pritchard correctly. I think I'm coming off a little too negative. I don't mean it to be that bad. Whose usage goes up the most with Teague and Smart out? I don't think Smart is like a usage hog. It's still going to be Tatum and Brown. Boston allows more points than Toronto. Okay. Mid-range is where it is tonight. There's so many ways to play tonight. There's studs, scrubs,
I do like the mid-range.
The balance. I don't think you could fade Pritchard. Brown, biggest benefactor of Smart out. Okay. All right. I think we're all understanding. So we the Raptors, Fred VanVleet. Yay.
Fred VanVleet. That's about it.
Let's move on to the next game.
I would be shocked if Siakam gets like a big game, but not confident.
Malcolm Brogdon, Aaron Holiday, Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, and the Indiana Pacers at the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. 217 total, 1.5 point spread in favor of the home team Pelicans. I like this game. I think when we look at the Pacers, they've been without T.J. Warren. We put some big minutes and big opportunities on Malcolm Brogdon and Domantas Sabonis. But Victor Oladipo has just been kind of lurking there as well. I do think these guys might be priced at projected ceiling, like for 7-9 on Brogdon. I got him right at 40, but I think that's still, like, there's even room to grow. I think if he has 45, 50 fantasy points here, I'm not stunned. And same case with Sabonis. So with Sabonis, you got to have it at 9.5, 9.2. So on FanDuel, Sabonis is 9.2. Maybe I like his matchup a little bit more, but Julius Randle's 8-1, right? So it's like so hard for me to mathematically get to Sabonis aggressively when I got Julius Randle just lurking with Thibodeau minutes and his volume, his usage, and whatever. So I could see myself, and for that same. And this is what happened the other night. It was Randle versus Sabonis in the same game. Randle is closer to Sabonis prices on DK, and then you start thinking, okay, is Randle going to be higher owned to Sabonis that could swap it? But man, Sabonis when lock happens and I look at my Sabonis exposure, like I feel like I'm going to be disappointed. Like, man, I probably want more, but I just couldn't. Like, Randle's just so much cheaper. So that's where I'm at on them. And then Victor Oladipo, 7.27K. We think about Oladipo last year. He was struggling to get to 30s. We've seen a couple 40 bombs out of him. I'm probably still going to stay away at 7K, but the minutes have been there. Brogdon, Sabonis are my 1-2, and then maybe a dab of Depot if I was going to game stack this one. And out on the Pelican side, Ingram and Zion, man, that's the coin flip every night, and a few times we've seen them coexist. But we talked about so points per dollar matchup, everything. We talk about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's price point. I mean, Ingram's right there, and Zion's a couple hundred cheaper. Ingram's doing more stat stuffing, or at least assist wise. Zion's still getting over 8 boards a game. I think last game Zion was getting into foul trouble, wasn't he? And people were freaking out.
No, he had 2 fouls. He played 33 minutes.
That's the game before I'm thinking of. He had 4 fouls, 17.
I think Ingram's a more talented player right now, just scoring wise. Leader of his team is going to chuck more shots. Give me some Brandon Ingram. I think at 8.4, he has opportunity for 50 plus almost every night. So at that price, you just want to play him, every single night. So give me some Brandon Ingram. Indiana, I'm just looking at maybe just fading the team. Like Brogdon's price has come all the way up to 7,900.
I still think I could play him. Like people were not really that stoked to play him at 6.57. I think Brogdon still has room to hit here. Like
30 real life points is not going to happen.
I mean, maybe sure point wise, but I still think there's room that he gets there, man. I think I'm not calling it triple double, but he stuffs the stat sheet. So I
would just find the extra 1,100, 12, 13 for the Currys of the world and Trae Youngs of the world.
Sure, but you can't just do that.
I know, I hear you. It's just like I just don't think
I like Terrence Ross, but I'll just find the extra 5K to play Steph Curry.
Malcolm Brogdon is most likely going to get you like 35, 40 DKP. Which his price is okay if he gets you 40. You want the 50.
Okay. 40
there's not a lot with it. This could be the Sabonis. Like Sabonis, when Brogdon had a big game, Sabonis had a bit of a down game. I don't think Sabonis is taking 8 shots. I
don't think that's negatively correlated. I think Brogdon is such a
do it all both of them can hit their value at 9.5.
Maybe
for Sabonis
no,
and
not
7.9 for
no.
Brogdon.
I'm lower on Sabonis because of the price point, but I think Brogdon can be just fine at 7. What I'm saying is, I think people see 7.9 Brogdon. I'm not paying that. I think he can hit on that. Like I just don't. I think he can.
I just don't see Sabonis scoring 13.
Three of the Pacers are averaging 20 plus real points a game. Like this team is way more stackable than people make it out to be.
People think.
If we go to the team metrics tab, let's go to assist rate. Indiana has the 5th highest assist rate in the league right now, increasing their stackability. Like it's not negative correlation to
Oladipo's look good too.
Yes. So I'm gonna have some Brogdon, a little bit.
Like how much you gonna?
So if I'm playing the bulk of FanDuel, Luka's probably in 11-1. It's gonna be a ridiculous matchup against Houston. We're gonna want Luka. We're gonna want our John Wall exposure. I don't think the field's gonna have heavy Brogdon anyway. So if I'm at 10% Brogdon, 10 to 15% in 50 to 100 lines, I feel like at least I'm living up to my mind saying, hey, he could hit this, and then I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage or underweight versus the field. So probably upward 10% is probably where I would balance it at. There's a 10% range of outcome that Brogdon's a good play. Like
and you're gonna have more Brogdon than Sabonis.
Yes, but that's a price thing.
Yeah.
A 9.5, a 9.2, like, and I'm not anti-Sabonis. I think Sabonis could hit, but just
He's getting close to the
8,100
ceiling
for
anyway.
Randall is like there. Anyway, chat. What do you guys got on this one before we move on? Jugga says Pritchard will be an easy fade. Value open up in the next few hours. I can see it, but if value opens up, we're a very reactive field right now, NBA. So when other shiny things open up, people tend to go to the newest shiny thing, and then maybe Pritchard goes backwards in ownership, and then he is the play. In your opinion, Gun, who's the slate breaker as of now? I think it's going to be in the Rockets game, and we'll get to that. Oladipo's floor is 5x. Imagine his ceiling. Yeah, Oladipo used to be a over 8K player. I want to see that from him. Like, I don't think it's at these prices. I don't think it's a super positive thing to think that 3 guys from the Pacers are going to be tournament ceiling nut plays for this size slate. But I'm saying in and of itself on the game, I think 2 of those guys can do just fine. And like you're looking at 3 guys averaging over 20 real points. You're taking all those TJ Warren minutes. I don't think it's crazy considering this matchup. And this so far, this is like the tightest spread we've talked about, right?
What's New Orleans pace been this year?
So we're going to pull up the team metrics tab in the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. New Orleans is 4th lowest in pace so far.
Interesting.
So I expected that. I think if you add Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams, and Stan Van Gundy, you aren't going to be Alvin Gentry's let's outrun you. I didn't expect them to be one of the slowest teams in the league, and I think that could be changing. Like there's 5 games, a couple games against the Raptors or whatever. But I don't think they were going to be the run and gun fastest paced team in the league with Bledsoe, Adams, and a new coach. Like it just made too much sense.
I hear you.
Brogdon's balling a little late. Do you guys know if they're interested in Sexton? If Darius Garland's out, my interest in Sexton would go up. That's too much for Brogdon. He's got to get 45, and that's not so consistent for him. I get the trepidation, but I like Brogdon. I was 24th and 44 on Friday with a 9 from Doug McDermott. I don't know if I was in that one, Paul. I think I was in a contest that night, and Doug McDermott was sitting in first place for a hot minute. He ended up falling out to like 3rd, but it was wild. Sexton's a great play if Garland's out. Yeah, Garland, blah, blah, blah. Why so much love for Wall with Harden in? I think John Wall is just too cheap.
His usage is there, yeah. He got like 45 the game with Harden in.
Yeah.
So
Josh Hart, 4,400 for that. Thoughts on Josh Hart? On DK for tournaments tonight, I probably need to push 30 fantasy points. Could it have? I think his rebounds are just kind of nutty right now. Is Josh Hart going to sustain 8.2 rebounds per game? He might. I'm just saying that those are nutty. So he's almost averaging a double-double. So maybe you get away with it. I guess. Personally, I'd roster Giannis over Luka. I could see that. Luka might have some questions with his injury from last night. Let's go talk about that game. The Dallas Mavericks at the Houston Rockets. Mavericks, night 2 of a back-to-back. Luka did not play last night. That opened up Jalen Brunson's amazing must-play, like 10x value game. Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell taking on John Wall, James Harden, Daniel House, P.J. Tucker, and Christian Wood. We got 229.5 total, 4.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Houston Rockets. Some price differences in this game from FanDuel and DraftKings. So, notably, Luka Doncic is 11-1 on FanDuel, 10-3 on DraftKings. So, almost a $1,000 price gap there. And then Christian Wood, he's kind of got the Julius Randle thing going on. He's 9-1 on FanDuel, but just 7-4 on DK. And 7-4 on DK just seems like he's been living at 40-plus fantasy points, right? 52, 47. There's a 38 where he missed it by a bucket in the altitude, and then 53. So I think Christian Wood is still in the mix right there in the thick of things for DraftKings at that price point. But now you start putting him right there with the Sabonis's, and you're charging an extra $1,000 over like Randall on FanDuel. So I think you start making tougher decisions for FanDuel. James Harden. So, did anybody else find it fishy that he just said James Harden available to play? Like, whenever I just see available and not you know what I'm saying?
A little sketchy, but I'm not expecting to be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, he should play tonight. John Wall, 7.6K on DraftKings, 8.5 on FanDuel. So Wall, I think, should be an 8K player before long. The minutes in the first two games, 37 minutes. So a lot of the trepidation and the caution that we had with John Wall coming back from injury was like, okay, but is he going to play deep minutes? Well, so far, yes. He looked good in preseason. 37 minutes in a pair of these games. One of those games was without James Harden. But he's looked pretty good. Maybe 20 shot attempts isn't going to be like the mean with James Harden back in the mix, but some of those shots turn into assists, and I think a double-double with assists is very viable. And I also think you're going to account for a couple stocks. So I do like John Wall. I think you take the top off a little bit here, but I just think he's fine at 7,600. I don't really got anything to push back on that. And then Christian Wood, James Harden, they're all in the mix. Is James Harden somebody that you prioritize? 55 and 55 in the last two games. Two of those games that he played this season were without Wall, and the one game with Wall was 55 and a half, taking 24 shot attempts. So
I think he falls through the cracks a bit. People really don't want to play him with Wall. Wall obviously takes away some of his assist upside, and I think Giannis is in a better spot today than him. Just maybe, even though the Giannis game might blow out, Giannis can still get there. I think Luka's a stud that everyone's going to pay for. Just like you said, it's the Houston matchup. 10-3.
You think
Luka struggled. Don't be me wrong, he struggled, but against Houston,
So I like everything about Luka's spot, right? I like that he's the freshest legs on the court after last night, whatever. But on this side slate, when you say everyone's going to pay up is everyone going to disregard Steph Curry dropping 800 points for cheaper in a good spot against Zach? We talked about Harden. I don't think Harden will be higher on than Luka. I do think Giannis gets some traction, but that game's got like a stupid spread right now. I don't know. I feel like Luka's kind of burned the field a lot of so far, and just interacting with chat. A lot of people are so game log dependent. At 10.3K and need that 50 bomb. I think this is the greatest matchup that he's had all season. We're learning now that the Phoenix Suns are like the best defense in history. And then he ran into the Lakers. They blew out the Clippers without Kawhi. They got blown out by Charlotte and then Miami. So like this stretch here has been really tough. And this could be the first game that Luka really has where the matchup is soft and the game stays competitive. So this could be that 60, 70 fantasy point Luka game. So I don't know that – I don't know. I know I am in love with it. I just don't know, like, when we say everyone's going to go there, are they?
I think he'll be the highest known guy above 9K. Yeah.
I haven't looked at any ownership projections, but I don't think that's a crazy take.
So. I mean, great spot for him. Play some Luka. Play some. I mean, I want to say Josh Richardson or Tim Hardaway Jr. One of those guys probably has to have a big scoring game to keep up with Houston. Hardaway is probably going to take more shots. Richardson will give him more peripherals. I think it's a bit of a coin flip between those two guys. And the Houston side, I think you gotta love John Wall. Is probably he's going to be like an 8,500 type of player. So at 7,600, seems like you're still getting a bit of a discount. Give me John Wall. Christian Wood's the interesting one. With Harden and John Wall, he got.
That's not interesting. You effing play that on DraftKings, bro. You just play it.
I guess. I don't know why I've been hesitant. He's been killing it.
Man, every stream you want to like poo on Wood. No, if he's 7K, play Christian Wood. Like what? 9K on FanDuel, we're doing some meditating, but. Effing play Christian Wood at 7K. I mean, you just got your like rocks off on Clint Capella being 6K. This is a better.
I mean, so do you like Christian Wood over like Zion at the center position? He's center 100.
I think his floor is higher. Maybe his ceiling's lower, but his floor is higher.
He's better than Collins, better than Nance. Yeah, I mean, seems like the play. Yeah, play Christian Wood. Great spot.
Yeah. Mopar, Gundacker. I have an issue. I can't stop winning after watching your videos. Please help. I don't want to unsubscribe. I don't know.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
I might have to put a disclaimer. Warning. Watching this video might increase your earnings on FanDuel and DraftKings. You have to pay more taxes. Wood 50 bond. What's up, Alan? What is DK smoking? I want some of that. What up, Gobs? I remember when John Wall was upper 9K and he was a walking double-double. Yeah, I think that's the same here. Like, I think there will be letdown games, but at 7,600, the opportunity cost still a little bit low for what's likely to be a double-double, like 20.
So would you play John Wall and Wood together today, even with Harden back?
On DraftKings? Absolutely. Yeah. What? Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Like if they both John Wall being a high assist guy, it's not like he's negatively correlating with anything else. And then of course stocks are in the mix. I just don't see I don't think there's any negative correlation here. I also think you can play Harden Wood. I think Harden's gonna be a thought for me, just because I feel like the field's all thinking the same. John Wall's in, Harden can't drop 70. Harden can still drop 70. So I gotta have a little bit, but it'd probably be kind of like 5 to 10% in 100. Kind of the same with Luka on FanDuel, but I think Luka is in. If we ain't worrying about his injury, Luka's in the first time crush spot of the season. But FanDuel didn't play no games with his price. Like they didn't let you get that one for free. Gil says thoughts on Larry Nance Jr. As long as Kevin Love is out, I like him. I don't like that pace for upside here, and the sites have priced him up to like a 7K player. So I do think 35 to 38 is probably your median range of outcome, but there is every now and then a 40-plus bomb in there. So maybe if Darius Garland misses and they rely on like Dante Exum and Jetty Osman to soak up some more, maybe that increases Nance's usage a little bit more, but I don't think we're getting a lot of meat on the bone on the price as is. But I don't think he's like a floorless player. I think he's somebody that's fine if he were backed against a wall, but I don't love the matchup. Harden needed an unreal fourth just to get the 5x, and that was good enough for the Kings because so many blowouts. So again, one game sample sizes. We got to be really careful. But in any competitive game, you have to believe him to be. James Harden is going to be Mr. Fourth Quarter. That's just what it is. He's going.
John Wall's not chucking shots in the fourth quarter like that.
Yeah, and remember a couple seasons ago, Isaiah Thomas would be the fourth quarter guy for Boston. If you're in a competitive game, you give the ball to James Harden, he'll draw a foul and he'll shoot 10 free throws in the fourth. So I get what you're saying. Like he was letting you down for 3 quarters and then he took off. But I think we're gonna see a lot of, as long as he's on this team in competitive games, the fourth quarter is where Harden's really gonna shine. I wish Wood was still a forward on DK. I have to consider center. Yeah, but he's still cheap. Luka, honestly, not even playing that well. Still over 40 fantasy points per game. And this is the best matchup he's had all year. Like, and it's not even close. So, I love Luka. If you trust the players around Luka, then you can trust Luka. Richardson and Hardaway should have crushed last night. I don't think that's fair. Luka and Jalen Brunson, not the same people. Jalen Brunson was going to get the buckets. Luka will make a team game out of it.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway's going to see a lot more open looks with Luka on the floor.
Yeah. I also think like we should start considering some of these supplementary Mavs, like at least one, just because the Rockets, if we go to that team DVP tab, they're just not playing defense. Like Rockets across the board.
I think Clayball or Powell's interesting if one of them could get extended minutes if they get hot.
I wouldn't. I probably don't do that, but like I think a shooting guard, like a shooter, like a Hardaway, a Jay Rich, one of those guys stand to have a decent game here because of the matchup. I know Rashawn Holmes went bananas, but Holmes, somebody I can project over 30 minutes. I think Dwight Powell, for what he is points per minute, would be fine, but I just don't think he's gonna have a deep enough allotment.
Clayball's getting close to 30 minutes past couple games.
Yeah, and he's still got Willie Cauley-Stein in the mix. Boucher or Capella on FanDuel? Probably Capella. Boucher is very just playing with volatile. Coming off the bench is so volatile. So yeah, more than likely Capella. Tim Hardaway was missing wide open shots. Bro, speaking of wide open shots, where are my Nets fans at? Show yourself. Kyrie had the look. Durant gets the rebound. He's got 3 Wizards around him. I swear they went the other way. Durant, wide open brick.
How ironic. I finally playing with somebody who I'm confident making a shot.
And then that happens. Yep. Yeah. Bucks hosting the Detroit Pistons. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Pistons. Killian Hayes, DeLon Wright, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee. Taking on Drew Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. We had a 224 total. Last look, it was a 16.5-point spread. 16.5-point spread. That's so deep. Blake Griffin being out from injury management, Josh Jackson out. If you ask me, I don't know if we're going to see Blake play the Bucks anymore. There's some bad blood there, and it happened in the last couple of games. There's even pull-aparts between Blake and, like, Chris Middleton and stuff like that. So I don't know. I know they said injury management, but I don't know, man. I think Blake ducking these hands, bro. So this game is what it is. Giannis Antetokounmpo is 11K-ish on both sides. If you're playing him, you're hoping that the blowout doesn't impede his ability to extract ceiling. Against Chicago, it was a blowout. He got 65. You take that 65, right? If I told you right now 10.8K, Giannis Antetokounmpo is giving you 60 to 70 fantasy points, you probably take it. But, of course, there's a range of outcomes where somebody else gets hot, right? You look at this Miami game. It's a 50-point blowout. He got 30.5 fantasy points. So it is what it is. I don't think you guys need me to say Giannis could or could not be a good play in a blowout. You guys are smarter than that. So if you like Giannis, play Giannis, and just understand there's at least some volatility because, Chris Middleton could get hot. Drew Holiday on FanDuel is intriguing to me, just because of his stock potential. But the Bucks are all like spin the wheel, make a deal. Do they get there individually at their price point? It's the question that I think I'm gonna leave up to you guys. And on the Pistons side, we're gonna try and figure out this value death lineup without Blake, without Josh Jackson. We'll see if Derrick Rose does play, and if it's a lopsided game, do they run him out there too deep in garbage time? The forefront for me is probably Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey. That's a name we've seen a few times in chat. He is small forward, power forward eligible. He's 3,900. 30 minutes against Boston the other day was a point per minute. We've seen several games so far where he's been, maybe a point per minute. Maybe there's a game where he's like a 0.8 fantasy point per minute. And one of those guys should probably go out there, get some reps. 3,900. If I got no Blake and I put Sadiq Bey at 28 to 32 minutes, is he not just a better play than Peyton Pritchard? Really? I think we're on two different tracks there. Like, he's not. This pace with the urgency, the sense of urgency to score. Like, it's Sadiq Bey, not a double-digit shot attempt guy, and can give you peripherals to, I don't want to say rely on, but you feel a little bit better about Sadiq Bey.
He might get certain garbage time. I think this team's going to struggle throughout the game, first three quarters. I could see Milwaukee's defense just kind of putting the clamps on these guys. So
if I tell you right now, 30 minutes of Sadiq Bey and 30 minutes of Peyton Pritchard, you're going Peyton Pritchard, no questions.
Yeah, because I think that game's going to be more competitive and higher scoring.
I see. I'm on the other side. Like, I don't even care about competitiveness here. Like, Detroit's going to get smacked. They know it. Sadiq Bey, he chucks threes. Like, what do we want against? He's a rebound-getting three-point shooter. Like, how do you want a backup guard against the Raptors over? Like, I'm team Bey here. Like, hey, Bey, put him in my lineup at 3,900. Give me what? Come on, dog.
I think Josh Jackson is out.
We're not the same, you and I.
We're definitely not the same. I'm not rolling with a lot of these Pistons. Like, I get it. He's gonna get the run. He's gonna get the minutes. What he does in those minutes, we're gonna have to wait and see. I would just rather play Peyton Pritchard. Milwaukee, what do you think about Giannis? Does he get there in three quarters?
Let the record show. I disagree with that entire statement. So tonight it's gonna be Bey versus Pritchard.
Yep.
And I'm talking trash tomorrow when Bey 3X's Pritchard. What do I think about Giannis? Does he get us 60 in 24 minutes? Like. I honestly,
he got it last game.
He did. But then we've also seen blowouts right in. So like it's a coin flip. Like if the exact same price was on him or Luka right now, where are you going? And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, chat. Like this is just us game theory. I'm going Luka. Okay.
Yeah.
DeLon Wright's also kind of cheap here. Jeremy Grant started on fire against the Celtics, and I was like, I remember like before that game, I was like, I'm not playing Grant at 7K, and I almost regretted it. Like the first half, he was on fire, and then the second half, like he didn't do nothing, and it was just a 2-point game. So, I'm probably I'm really just looking at Sadiq Bey's price. Looking at chat, see what you guys got before we move on. Who is winning money from Raj advice? Gun disagrees with everything.
Harrison Barnes, baby.
I appreciate.
Harrison Barnes lock.
Oh, stop. Oh.
I always bring you to
Rocky Marciano. How come every time
Insane.
Raj bring up bad takes, you talk about Harrison Barnes? That's his one.
It's gonna be another one today.
That's his one. DJ Augustine for 3,200 DK could be a sneaky play. Yeah, if you think it really gets lopsided, DJ comes out there and gets 20, 25 minutes. Same with Bobby Portis. Should you avoid players in pace down games or just target high usage players from those type of games? I think a little bit of both. If the slate's big enough and the pace down games just like unappealing and prices are kind of tough, like I think we look at the what was it, the Magic and Thunder? No, not the Magic. There was a game that kind of Knicks and no, wasn't there a game that was the Heat and Thunder? Like that's an example of like a medium pace game, and like the prices are tough. So for me, I'm just like sticking out of that. I'm not to say like Jimmy Butler couldn't shock the world tonight, but like I would probably avoid it because I don't see a egregious price. Now, it just because a game is slow in nature or tough defensively doesn't necessarily mean I'm out of there. If the price is right, the usage and the volume is there, I'll still gamble on that. But in that particular game, nothing just like shined at me. So I do think that game comes with, or that question probably has the need for context, slate size, prices, stuff like that. So yeah, solid picks. You got to run Sadiq Bey because his name is Sadiq Bey. You can't argue with that. It's
cool
facts.
Name.
What about Colin Sexton birthday boy? Oh, it's his birthday too. If Garland's out, it's Sexton's birthday. Not a bad spot. 38 minutes, sure. Bay's the number one option with Giannis on Grant. Pritchard's still the fourth or fifth. I'm with that. Like maybe Bay, you worry about foul trouble, but even Jeremy Grant would probably cross. The matchup isn't great, but Sadiq Bey is just too cheap. He chucks threes. He's gonna get peripherals. Like in a 1v1, and this isn't results orientated. Like pre-flop, how do I click Pritchard over Bay if I'm giving him the same 30-minute projection? I think Bay is just the need for Sadiq Bey to score here look at this lineup versus
he will need to chalk. I mean, Derrick Rose could chalk 25 times.
He could, but they could also just not overlap much, and Derrick Rose play 20 minutes because it's a 40-point game. Like I don't know. I'm way different than you.
In a world where this game stays close, you would think, like, would you just game stack with like Giannis, Rose, Grant, and Sadiq Bey?
I don't live in that world, so no, I'm not. It's
just throw $20 into the 100K, 200K up top. Let it ride.
Okay, well, Peter says 1v1 Bay versus Kelly. Oh, it's Bay. Snap call for me. One go Giannis on FanDuel. I think there's other could get 50 for cheaper. Lock them up. Curry thoughts? Steph Curry or Seth Curry? I like them both. Finney Smith might be sneaky 7x. And that game, like the Rockets have allowed some big games from more than one person on the opposing team, so I'm definitely with that. Bay should be blowout proof too. Yeah, some of those guys you just need to get reps, and I think Bay's one of them. DeLon Wright. So DeLon Wright, I think is cheap enough on both sides that you could justify it. Sure, like I'm with that.
I will say the Sadiq Bey play looks better just because point guard is so stacked.
Nah. Don't you be backtracking now, mofo. I asked you 30 minutes point blank, 1v1.
Like point guards are stacked, so value at small forward does make that pretty on DK. Just throwing that out there.
Not gonna be able to allow this to happen. Not gonna do it. Chat, 240 of the sharpest minds on YouTube are watching right now. Can I get a thumbs up? Thumbs up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, man. Help me out. I don't even know where we at on thumbs up because I got this new.
Okay, 30 more likes for 100. Let's get to 100.
Do we really got 70 likes? I wasn't paying attention because I have this new vertical monitor. Anyway, but
100 likes, free ice cream. I'll send it from Canada. Free ice cream.
You don't want that. He's Sri Lankan. You don't want that weird Sri Lankan.
Oh, we got that real creamy ice cream. We got the actual authentic ice cream. You don't know about Sri Lankan ice cream.
Okay. Anyway, chat.
You know about that, right?
Let me get the plug out the way, would you? While you guys are hitting that thumbs up, let me tell you guys that after this stream,
we're at 80. 20 more, chat. 20 more. Do it for the people.
I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord, leading up till lock, 2 hours before lock. If you guys want to be part of that, be part of a 24/7 community talking DFS, getting some of these up-to-the-minute news. Bot Dackers got us covered on news. Go to rundfs.com, make yourself an account. Once you do that, you find a VIP pass that's right for you. Check it out, test it out. Like I said, I know maybe it seems a little pricey versus some other people, but I honestly, I mean this. I can't remember the last person that got like a week pass and just didn't stick around. Like these customers, like Vipers, stick around. So to me, that speaks volumes about what we offer and what you'll get when you do that. You go to VIP threads. There's an onboarding thread that'll have the link to the spreadsheet that I've been using throughout the duration of this broadcast. You guys get access to that. I'll have my player pools, my projections for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. And then, of course, we'll have the 24/7 Discord chat access, and then the 2-hour pre-lock voice chats. We'll also have spreadsheet for NFL this weekend, and then in April, I cover baseball as well. The baseball spreadsheet is powerful. So if you guys enjoy these streams, the channel, you want to go above and beyond, support the channel a little bit, get a little something in return, and make some friends, plant yourself in a community of like-minded grinders. I definitely think the Discord would help you out. I say it all the time, but I talk about it, bragged on it. Always be placing $1 million. You want $1 million? A couple weeks ago, NFL Millie Maker, Jake's won the 100K. Dean's won the 100K in NBA. Last week, I won 18K like from NBA. So it's not just like people in the Discord.
I'm going to 100K soon. Just don't know when.
We got winners in there, and we got people grinding all different bankroll sizes. Quarter arcade grinders, 20 entry maxes, 150 maxes. So whatever you're at or wherever you're trying to be at, there's somebody in there to connect with and bond with.
Plenty of life invites in the chat too. Plenty of life advice.
It's a family vibe, man. It's a frat vibe. You know, you show up, we talk basketball too, but we'll also poke fun at each other, have some fun. Sometimes sweat the games together in voice or whatever.
8 more likes, chat.
Sacramento
for the boys. For the boys.
Sacramento Kings at the Golden State Warriors. I'm waiting for this. I got a PS5 that's supposed to be at my door any second now. Like I'm waiting for it to F up the stream.
Do it for the PS5. 8 more likes, chat. Do it for the PS5.
I can't wait to get my Fortnite stream going on Twitch. Sacramento Kings at the Golden State Warriors. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes taking on Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Draymond Green, and James Wiseman. A 234.5 total 2-point spread in favor of the visiting Kings. The disrespect. Steph Curry last night decided that he was going to score all of the points. All of them. He had 62 real points.
He was that good Curry last night.
He had 4 assists. He's like, I'm not passing the ball, bro. I got this. 19 free throw attempts. He was on one. 36 minutes. You love to see it. That was the high usage Steph Curry game that people have been chasing, but he's still at 9K. You'd still take 50 fantasy points, and right now I put him at 34.9. 35 minutes, and it's coming back 54. So with that soft projection, if I go to my player projections tab, Steph Curry is listed as the 5th best value play. I'm going to sweep through my projections after the stream, but he's still projecting as one of the top value plays. This reminds me when like Devontae Adams was like a 9K receiver a couple weeks ago, and it was just like, no, we're playing that. Yep. So I'm all about some Steph Curry. Sacramento Kings, they've been really good at rebounding, elite at offensive rebounding. Kelly Oubre, why can't I quit you?
Don't do it, man.
I'm still going to have Oubre. Oubre and Wiggins I'll have shares of today. But Oubre, I've been saying it over and over and over and over and over. Oubre is not killing me so far. Like, there's one game that's 16. But look at him knocking on the door of 30, right? And he's been shooting like trash. He's hit 2 threes on the season. One of these games, he's going to hit 30 to 40 to maybe 50% is just one night where he's found it. And this 5,500 will get me a 40 fantasy point night. It's coming. So I'm at the slot machine. And I can't get up from the slot machine after I put so many quarters in. So if you guys want to sit next to me and try to get the cash out, let's go for it. But right now, I'm there. I think I was like this on like Jonathan Simmons a couple years ago. I'm just playing Kelly Oubre until it hits. So it's going to hit. Hall of Fame. Oh man, we got a Hall of Fame sub, Lenny. Oh, shout out to you, dog. I appreciate that.
Shout out Lenny.
That's a channel member. I haven't even been pushing the channel memberships, but I'm gonna dress that up, Lenny. If you reach out to me on Twitter or something, I'll get you hooked up with, I don't know, a perk. I appreciate the support. I really do. Anyway, matchup wise, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, and Rashawn Holmes are the three that really stick out to me. What was that, Lenny?
We go right back to Harrison Barnes here. We're going right back to Harrison
so
Barnes.
the Kings, I think, are stackable, and this is one of the highest total, smallest spreads on the slate. And this is where we're going to see the patience of the field. You got to wait all day. You got to wait this whole slate out to stack this game. But it's very stackable. The prices are nice. I'm not obviously, and we don't have to think about Draymond. I think they said 20-ish minutes, right? Wiseman's a maybe. You think about it, but Curry, Wiggins, and Kelly Oubre. I almost said Abreu. What? Baseball. Each one of these guys could probably hit their price point, and I would dare to say there's a range of outcomes where maybe they hit together. I'd probably just be safe and just go 2 of 3. But if I run them at 3 Kings, is it crazy to think on FanDuel, AK Fox, 5'7" Hield, and 6'3" Rashawn Holmes all hit? And even 6'1" Harrison Barnes. Like the minutes, 32, 36, 37, it's there. So if I go back to that value tab in the projection sheet, I got Rashawn Holmes currently listed as a number 2 value play in my soft projections. And I don't have to go too far deeper. Too far deeper? Is that right? I don't know if that's English. Harrison Barnes is there. Kelly Oubre is there. De'Aaron Fox is there. So a lot of these guys are in the top 10, top 20 of potential value plays. Again, I gotta sort through that. But the Golden State Warriors are not playing great defense. I love this game a lot. I think if this game's at 7 p.m., we might see like 30% ownership on 3-4 guys. We still might, but I don't know if people are that patient. Maybe that's just
I don't
me.
think people really play a lot of Kings. People aren't running to play these Kings.
Maybe. Are you with me here? Like, are we stacking Kings?
Yeah, I mean, I like De'Arian.
Here we go.
Fox's price at 8.2. I mean, yeah, sure, he can get you mid 45s. I'm not running to play him, especially point guard is still stacked today. But I think Rashawn Holmes might be. I mean, if on DK, if I wanted to start a lineup just with like Holmes and Clint Capella, both at 5,600 and 6,100, both with 40-point upside, I really like that at the center position. Just give me Holmes, really like him. Give me Harrison Barnes. He's literally good for 30 every night in a good matchup. Gives you a little more, so I like that. Golden State. Give me Curry. Give me Wiggins. Wiggins seems like he's finding a shooting stroke a little bit. 27, 15, 21 real life points past 3 games. 19 before that. Getting you some peripherals. Getting you rebounds. Averaging 5.8 rebounds a game. So don't hate Wiggins here too. Especially if you think Curry is going to cool down a little bit. Maybe those shots go to Wiggins a little bit. So give me him. I'm not on the Oubre train. I haven't played Oubre all season. Hasn't hurt me yet, so I'm not going to jump on him now.
Oh, it's coming.
But yeah, give me Holmes. Give me Barnes, give me Curry, and give me Wiggins.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. So no Draymond here.
We had 100 likes, Gun. 101. Likes. Let's go.
Paul says 200 likes and Gun gets a dog. No, I'm just getting a new farm animal every 100.
200 likes, we get Holly Berry on the stream.
Okay, buddy. Angelo Santos, Harrison Barnes revenge game. I like Harrison Barnes here. The minutes in the matchup's fine. Man, I definitely appreciate those likes, Chad. You guys are awesome. You should do a most overpriced guy of the slate. Don't play. It's Terry Rozier. I can't play 7K Terry Rozier. Gosh darn it. Why don't you pause and go check just in case? Go check. Oh no, because it's a sign. It's a sign on delivery. For the PS5. There's no way. Heck, I actually got my gaming monitor earlier, and that wasn't signed on delivery. And the FedEx guy was like, "Bro, I wasn't gonna leave this out here." So he was knocking on the door. I appreciate. Shout out to FedEx. But yeah, that one is. I have to sign for it to touch my hands. What's up, Ashlyn Vucevic? I love Vucevic. Absolutely. I like Vucevic and Markelle Fulton. If Evan Fournier was out, I would like those guys even to a greater degree. Like me some Oubre and Wiggins. So one of the things I was going to point out about the Kings is so far they're giving up amongst the most real points in the paint. Again, small sample size. Maybe this switches up a little bit. or points in the paint allowed. Wrong tab. They're giving up the the third most points in the paint. Coming into the season, Andrew Wiggins wasn't really like a 3-point artist. I guess going into that scheme, he is chucking threes and he's hitting more than Kelly Oubre. But he's a guy that can attack the rim, even Oubre to an extent. So I do think, if they take the pressure off of them having to shoot threes, and the Warriors' schedule in their defense hasn't been the best either. A couple run-ins with the Bucks. You get the Nets. A couple games against Dame, and I think the Blazers are really, really getting close to blow it up territory. But I think this matchup should be pretty soft. And yeah, maybe Steph doesn't drop 60 real points, but I like them all the same. Wiseman on FanDuel 4-6, way too cheap in my opinion. I think that's worth shots. I do, but I think Wiseman's big stuff has come when the Warriors are on the wrong side of a blowout, and they put him out there in like the garbage time to kind of mop up against the backups, right? Reminds me of the first day of the year. Love Buddy with no Halliburton. That's a good point. Tyrese Halliburton listed out, so more minutes, more opportunity for Buddy Hield. And I currently have him at almost 38 minutes on FanDuel at under 6K. Yes, please. Steph Curry versus Kings or Luka versus Houston. Man, if that's in a tiers, right? If you're playing tiers and there's no salary, like you're asking who just scores more fantasy points, Luka or Steph?
I'll probably go Luka, but I mean it's close.
It is. Y'all like T. Ross? Yeah, T. Ross I like him even more if Evan Fournier's out. I think 20 plus shot attempts could happen regardless, but it sounds like Fournier did not practice yesterday with back spasms, so I probably expect him out until he's in. What kind of monitor did you pick up? It's just like a 144 hertz. Essentially, I've been playing Fortnite on a original edition PS4 forever, and that's the only game I really play. If you guys play Fortnite, you know how FPS intense it is. So the more frames and whatever, the more advantage you have. So now I bought a PS5 off the homie Chronic. And then upgraded the monitor. So today I'll get to play on it and, maybe stream. I'll probably stream on my Twitch channel for a little bit if anybody wants to hang out. Twitch.tv/Gundecker99. Anyone min priced on DK that is worth a punt? Min price? Like bare bones min? Maybe not at the bare bones min. You must have some crazy lineup that you just, I want to punt.
Wants that Luka Giannis Curry lineup.
Wayne Ellington if Rose randomly got rolled out. I don't see.
I'm going to pass on that one.
You're reaching. Kyle Guy if Halliburton out means anything to you. James Ennis could be back in the mix for the Magic. I don't think he's played. He's not even bare bones, man. Yeah, it's what it is. Holmes or Capella straight up. Right now, I got to go Holmes. Thoughts on Bledsoe? I mean, he's at that tricky range at the 6K. Like that's Buddy Hield territory. If we just go to 6'5" to 5'5", if you're talking about DraftKings, I love Fultz. I think Fultz could drop 30 no matter what. But if Fournier's out, I think Fultz one of these days has a 35-40 in him. Hardaway is not a love, but I see a range of outcomes for a Hardaway or a Jay Rich to be a solid play against Houston. Terrence Ross we mentioned. So I mean, Eric Bledsoe's there. He makes sense, but like it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Very volatile game log here too. So I'm sure that's a little easy, right? Cesar Flores. I did a stat muse on Curry last 5 games with the Kings. He's had like over 50 FanDuel points in last 3 overall. He's done great. Yeah, I think Curry. You just know his usage when that team's hitting. And then last night might have been ceiling. It was literally ceiling, the most points he's ever scored. But if Steph Curry's a 30 to 40 real point player on this team, I'm not surprised. Like it reminded me a lot of like maybe what Harden had to do with his G Leaguers, right? Holmes or Holmes. All right. How about Lance for Cleveland? Lance. Nance. Larry Nance. I think he's fine. I don't love the price on him though. Typing, yes. Nance. 7.1K. I would really need the north side of 40 fantasy points. I don't think this matchup is anything like extravagant. I would really like Nance in like a higher pace game. But if we take out Darius Garland, maybe he picks up some of the slack. I don't think there's a ton of meat on the bone at that price. I can't really see myself getting to like a 7K Nance and just like not thinking that like, I don't know, Christian Wood or even Gordon Hayward. Don't sleep on what Hayward just did in this matchup. 47 on DK, broke the slate on FanDuel. I just don't. I don't know. I think Nance is like back against the wall, sure, but I just don't love the price and matchup. Grant or Wiggins, small forward on DK, probably Wiggins. Hurts me to say that, but probably Wiggins. How much do you like Julius Randle? On FanDuel, Julius Randle might be a tier 1 borderline lock at 8K. The opportunity cost is just way too low for the minutes and responsibility, right? 37-plus minutes, 4 straight, the Thibodeau special. So I could take 40 to the bank, and some of these 40s will end up being 50-pluses. On DK at 9K, it's tougher. So I'm not going to be as bullish on DK, but I think that's a site-specific question. There's a couple guys that I think are site-specific great plays to okay plays on others, and Julius Randle's definitely one of them. Would you play Oubre, Wiggins, and Barnes on FanDuel? Absolutely. There's no negative correlation in that lineup. MCW or Cam Reddish? Man, you're in it. Duh, you're in it. That's, I don't know how you got there, but probably Reddish. I think MCW is cheaper, 4.6. I just don't love. I don't think like people went after him. He took double-digit shot attempts, but he's not like a great shooter. And he's not a great scorer. The rebounds might give him a safer floor. Cleveland. That's tough. I mean, that's a coin flip, homie. I'd probably go Reddish and hope for tournaments. If Fournier's out, maybe MCW generates buzz again, or maybe this is the Peggy Sue spot where he hits after everyone was on him. But that price on MCW, like I don't really think he's anything special. Gordon minutes has been tricky. Aaron Gordon is supposed to be like on a minutes limit, or at least on a diet that's supposed to like not push him. And there's been games where even on a minutes limit, like he's crushing it. 28 against OKC. Is there any like update on that? Maybe they really milked as much out of him as they could without Fournier needing some scoring. Is Clifford their coach? I don't know if we've seen any like quotes from them about Gordon being off the chain, but I think we're gonna put at least a glass ceiling on his minute potential until further notice. Austin Rivers, man, you're in it, Paul. We don't need to get this crazy on this slate. I think there'll be enough
don't get
value.
too cute, guys. Don't get too cute. Don't reach for these plays.
How you feel about Hero?
I don't really think there's any incredible value except for Richard and the Detroit guy. Other than that, you're just kind of reaching.
Yeah, Sadiq Bey. How do you feel about Hero? I'm probably off that game completely unless news comes out between now and lock to shake it up. I don't really see a price point on that on either side that I got to play. RJ Barrett or Harry B. Oh, Harrison Barnes. I'm probably going Harrison Barnes.
Let's go.
Javal McGee thoughts? McGee's been crushing Andre
Kevin
Drummond.
Durant ruled out.
That's not on this slate.
No, it's not today. My bad. I was tripping. I thought it was today. I just seen that. I was like, oh. My bad. It just popped up.
Guys, tomorrow. No KD. I think Kyrie will be my sneaky play of the day. Maybe play Karis LeVert. That's my freebie for tomorrow. Javal McGee thoughts. If you're going to be invested in Andre Drummond tonight, maybe hedge yourself with Javal McGee. I'm still not ready to overcommit to like a bench guy. He's 4,500. Matchup isn't anything like fantastic, but he's been playing arguably better and way more efficient than Andre Drummond. 2 steals, a block, and he hit a 3 the other day. He's like chucking threes now. So 4,500. I mean, I guess he's gotten you 20 plus. I really would hate to give up a center spot like that, though. Like, at center is usually enough raw points somewhere. But if you're trying to make like a Giannis Luka lineup, maybe you do go down and pinch some pennies at center. So Javal McGee is probably one of the least crazy names that you guys have thrown in chat lately. Yeah, 6K util on DraftKings. What time is it? It's 4:00. Oh, guys, I gotta get in the customer chat.
Yep.
6K util. 6K util. If man, I think Rashawn Holmes. Better value. Walter Pritchard. Okay, buddy. Harrison Barnes 4-year revenge game. Let's go. Guys, I have to get into RunDFS.com VIP voice chat. I really appreciate you guys making these streams just pop off every day. You guys are crushing it. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subs. Tomorrow, we're dealing with a
Kevin Durant-less slate.
A 5-game slate with no Durant. So I'm really curious, chat. I'll stick around for a minute to get you guys' thoughts. Do you guys prefer? So what we've been doing is if it's a short slate, I've been streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern, and if it's a small slate, I get things started at 3 p.m. Eastern. I know most of you guys tend to come in like towards the middle of the first hour. Do you guys want to keep doing short slate streams at 4 p.m. Eastern? We stay ahead of the news, or do you guys just want a concrete 3 p.m. Eastern stream every day? Because I know there's other content creators that are streaming, and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. So you guys let me know. I kind of like that schedule personally. Short slates at 4, big slates at 3. But I'm willing to see what's most convenient to you guys, since that's my grind right now, making content or whatever. But while we let you guys answer that, if you guys got anything else for me, twitter.com/GundackerSports. My DMs are open. You can tweet at me. I'm going to be in the voice chat in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. There's already cats waiting. And you guys can grab a mic, join in, talk. You guys actually, I think that's the biggest thing that I offer that a lot of other sites don't. It's just like we're talking. Like, you talk with me. You don't just have to read an article and guess what I'm doing. I'm pretty transparent. So if you guys want to be part of that, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account. While we do that, let's see what you guys got before we get out. Teague is out. Smartest questionable. Yep. Kevin Durant ruled. I like 3 p.m. dead part of the day. So 3 p.m. Eastern, just like no matter what size the slate you like that. I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll make a poll. Actually, I think it's more fair if I make a poll. So I'll make a poll on Twitter. 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern. And then if you guys are on Twitter, if you want to do me a solid and just go interact with that. On short slates, what time should we do our NBA DFS breakdown stream? And I'll give that a day. So if you guys want to maybe go be part of the part of the decision-making process, I would appreciate it. I'll put that in chat. Otherwise, I got to get in voice chat. I love you guys. Hope you crush it tonight. I'll be on Twitch later with my new PS5. Come hang out. I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Oh. I thought my end screen was better.
So the